What is the latest surprise on Star Wars? You must mention Star Wars to mention any of the most watched sci-fi movies of all time, and there's something to surprise fans with one of the series based on the movie. Disney Plus, the creators of The Mandalorian, premiered 3 years ago, so to celebrate, Lucasfilm and Star Wars have released a Baby Yoda Grogu animated short. First up, what's the latest surprise by Star Wars to celebrate The Mandalorian? For the anniversary of The Mandalorian, Star Wars surprised fans with a short starring a Baby Yoda. On November 12th, the brand new original short will premiere exclusively on Disney Plus in honor of The Mandalorian's 3rd anniversary. There will be a new original short on Zen, Grogu and Dust Bunnies from legendary Japanese animation firm Studio Ghibli, which is currently on the streaming service as of Saturday, November 12th, in commemoration of the streaming service's 3rd anniversary with the release of popular Star Wars series The Mandalorian. Katsuya Kondo directs the hand-drawn animated short with music by Ludwig Göransson. Season 3 of The Mandalorian is scheduled to premiere in February 2023. On the same day that Disney Plus premiered, November 12, 2019, The Mandalorian also debuted. Teaser footage from Season 3 was shown at the DM23 Expo in September, with the tagline, "You are a Mandalorian no more." Up next, what happened in the previous seasons of The Mandalorian? Season 1 is defined as, after the stories of Jango and Boba Fett, another fighter emerges in the Star Wars universe. The Mandalorian takes place in a pre-New Order galaxy between the Galactic Empire's end and the First Order's rise. We follow a lone gunfighter as he faces adversity far from the New Republic's control in the galaxy's furthest regions. The Mandalorian and the Kid return for a second season of action in the chaotic years after the Galactic Empire's defeat. Gina Carano, Carl Weathers, and Giancarlo Esposito are just a few guest stars who have appeared on the show in previous seasons. Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, Bryce Dallas Howard, Rick Famuyiwa, Carl Weathers, Peyton Reed, and Robert Rodriguez are just some of the directors that have directed episodes in previous seasons. Executive producers include showrunner Jon Favreau, co-showrunners Karen Gilchrist, Carrie Beck, and regulars Dave Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy, and Colin Wilson. So, how does Andor compare to other Star Wars series and The Mandalorian? New information compares Andor to The Mandalorian and other Star Wars shows and reveals that it has a far smaller audience. Andor may focus on a well-known character from a well-known Star Wars saga, but it's unlike anything else viewers have seen on Disney Plus. Andor distinguishes out from the crowd since it's not a continuation of Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau's continuing Mandoverse, has adult-oriented content and intimacy, and features seasons of 12 episodes separated by time leaps. Instead, Andor is a brainchild of Rogue One writer Tony Gilroy and the first production to eschew the volume and stagecraft for on-set locales. However, while different from other works like The Book of Boba Fett and The Mandalorian, the audience has responded well to these innovations. Many fans have already ranked Andor among the top Star Wars shows. Despite the apparent success of the Diego Luna-led series with fans and critics, the show needs help drawing in viewers. Parrot Analytics' Brandon Katz claims that despite Andor's positive reception by fans and critics, the series has not been as in demand as other Star Wars Disney Plus series that features the Book of Boba Fett, the complete saga. The critic added that the most disheartening trend I've noticed recently is that despite being the best Star Wars series by far, fewer people are interested in watching Andor than The Mandalorian Season 1 and 2, The Book of Boba Fett, or Obi-Wan Kenobi. Why does Andor, the Star Wars franchise, which has won universal acclaim, seem to be faltering regarding viewership? Two things come to mind as explanations for this anomaly: the presence of competition and the unique format of the presentation. It's no secret that Andor faces stiff competition from other programs on Disney Plus like She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, and the aforementioned Rings of Power and House of the Dragon. There was no such competition for viewership among the seasons of The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, or Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now that those shows have concluded or are winding down, it would be fascinating to see if Andor's ratings rise. And now, what are the factors that can help the audience shoot up? There's also the fact that there are 12 episodes in a season of Andor. Andor has already shown half of its episodes, even though most Star Wars shows have had between 6 and 8. Although the show's slow start may have hurt it, the fact that it's just beginning may help it in the long run. Andor's numbers can also be understood in light of the series' nature and how it deviates from its forerunners. In contrast to Obi-Wan, Boba Fett, and The Mandalorian, Andor doesn't have a big action set piece in every episode or a star guest star. And the Easter eggs are organic and much more delicate than you may expect. Andor's narrative is also not fundamental to the Star Wars canon or associated with the Skywalker family in any way. It's feasible that neither a lightsaber nor a Jedi ever makes an appearance upon Andor. Although many of these things are why fans praise the show, they in no way necessitate that fans watch the episode immediately after it airs to avoid spoilers. There are little franchise shows that viewers might hold out on in favor of binge-watching everything in one sitting. Plus, unlike most Star Wars stories, Andor is not aimed at tweens and younger readers. It's darker, more serious, and more complex than previous Star Wars films, and may turn off some fans. Considering how high quality Andor is, its low demand is disheartening. Statistics and data are helpful, but they only sometimes tell the whole story. The truth is, Andor is easily among the best Star Wars projects of recent memory, and it may even shape the franchise's future. New episodes of Andor will premiere on Wednesdays on Disney+. Up next, how does Andor make the death of Alderaan sadder? A sequence in Andor Episode 11 about Alderaan makes the destruction an even sadder moment. The Death Star's laser famously obliterated Princess Leia's home planet of Alderaan in the original Star Wars film. Destroying Alderaan proved the Death Star's full capabilities and the true depravity of the Galactic Empire in the Star Wars universe. Alderaan was just one of several worlds in the Star Wars galaxy that the Empire had to keep an eye on due to the rebels' widespread activities. It's been known for ages as a peaceful nation that stays out of galactic wars. Things took a turn during the Clone Wars when, under Senator Organa's leadership, the planet became a haven for refugees who had lost their homes to the Separatists. Once the Republic fell, and the Empire officially took over, Organa emerged as a prominent role in the rebels' attempts to oppose them and helped make Alderaan a valuable asset of the rebellion. While Alderanian citizens avoided taking part in the conflict, their government provided substantial aid in resources and weapons. Ultimately, this was enough for Organa and Alderaan to draw the anger of the Empire before its destruction in A New Hope. This isn't the first time the franchise has added additional tragedy to Alderaan's destruction beyond what it had in the original Star Wars trilogy. Andor is just the latest example. Alderaan was merely an object in the distance in A New Hope, but the subsequent editions, such as the Leia, Princess of Organa book, have made active efforts to examine the landscape and the lives of the people who call it home. The tragic irony of seeing its tranquil culture with gorgeous scenery in Obi-Wan Kenobi and other projects, while knowing the tragedy that awaits it, has amplified the emotional impact of this watershed event in the Star Wars saga. In other related news, what can fans expect from The Mandalorian Season 3? When will the Baby Yoda show's third season of The Mandalorian premiere, and what will happen in it? Disney doesn't do things halfway, and viewers are eager for updates on the show's future after The Mandalorian finale of Season 2. Fans of Mando may sigh relief now that they know Season 3 is on the way. All that's left to do is wait. A steady stream of Star Wars spin-offs, including the Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the upcoming Ahsoka and Andor, are also being released. Still, The Mandalorian continues to be a fan favorite. This article contains all the information you need about Season 3 of The Mandalorian. When will Disney Plus bring back The Mandalorian for a third season? Producers Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni announced the February 2023 premiere of The Mandalorian's third season. Later that same year, Ahsoka joined them. Many people, including the cast, had been guessing when it may be until the announcement. Cast member Giancarlo Esposito, who plays Moff Gideon, promised a speedy delivery on The Rich Eisen Show. "I have a few more things to finish before I can put the finishing touches on my work." TV Line originally reported The Mandalorian would premiere in December. However, it will likely occur this summer. There's no set date yet, but one will be announced shortly. In a Vanity Fair interview with Pedro Pascal and other new Star Wars stars, it was said that the program would debut in late 2022 or early 2023. We know we won't see Din Djarin and Grogu until 2023, but we have plenty of other Star Wars shows to watch, like the forthcoming Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and don't forget to leave a comment below, letting us know what you think. We love hearing from you.